Just gonna start the recording so I can post that later. And I'll just give it 2 or 3 minutes, then we'll fly through it. Okay, I'm gonna get started because people will be able to watch the Zoom if they're not here. So we're just gonna fly through it. This should only last half an hour to 40 minutes, I'd suggest. I'm just gonna go through qualifications. If you want more games or you're not getting any games, progression, training you can get, uniform, and then the ability to be an assistant referee. To begin with, just going to do an introduction, Darren. If you want to just introduce yourself, summary.
So my name's Darren. I started off at Blacktown as game leader, and I've basically just worked my way up, and now I'm a Premier League referee.
Perfect. And so Darren runs the weekly training as well as courses. We've also got Kiana who runs some training and courses, and then there's me. So I'm the referees coordinator at Blacktown. I also begin refereeing as a game leader at Gymea in the Sutherland Shire. I progressed through all the pathways, so I probably started there at 10, and now at 22, I'm an NPL1 first grade, so that's the pathway you can do. My job is to coordinate all 300 officials in Blacktown, so that's 200 full field referees and 100 game leaders. I can have to allocate up to 500 games per week. On top of that, I also run the training and development, and there's a lot of other things that go on. So there's a lot happening, and I'm just trying to keep on top of everything. But during the season, with all the games that are on, it can always be a bit difficult. And then the only way to contact me is through an email. So please don't try and call me on a number that you can find online. I've got multiple phone numbers online that people can try and call. Just send an email. The qualifications. So in the past, so if you're refereed in 2023 or before, originally it was level 12, 11, and 10. We've just changed that slightly to become level 1, 2, 3, 4, just to make it, I don't know, just that little bit easier. So the level 1 game leader, you referee 4v4. The level 2 game leader, 7v7. Level 3 game leader, 9v9. And then the level 4 game leader is sort of our new thing, which is the game leader in transition. So we're trying to transition you from doing game leading to refereeing full field football. All qualifications from 2023 do carry across. And just because you are a level 2 game leader doesn't mean that you can't do level 1 or level 3. Ideally, you're not doing above the level you're qualified to do, but we understand with clubs, there's a lot of games at some clubs, or there's specific age groups. So it's able to be adaptable through the skills you learn during the online courses as well as the practical components. If you want to do more games or you're not getting any games, so all of you as a game leader should be attached to a club. So for instance, when I started being a game leader, I was in Sutherland. So Sutherland sort of controlled me, but I was attached to Gymea, and Gymea did all my training, all of my appointing, all of that stuff. It's the exact same in Blacktown now. So just because you're registered to BDSFA game leading, you should also be attached to, for instance, Parkley. So that's your attached club. If you're not, please email me straight away and I'll pass you on to the person who will be able to assist you getting into a club. And it's all about trying to keep it convenient and easy for you. So if you live in Parkley, we want you doing game leading at Parkley as well, just to make it easier. If you want more games on a Saturday or Sunday, let me know by the Thursday morning leading into those games, and I'll see if I can reallocate you to a grounds nearby. I understand that some clubs have heaps of games, some clubs don't. So being able to be adaptable and moving to other grounds is really helpful. I know in the coming weeks, Premier Spurs have a heap of games and they don't have any game leaders. So I will be reaching out to the group, asking if anyone wants to do extra games or additional or whatever, and seeing if you would like to go there or other clubs that may be struggling.
Oh, but we don't have a photo.
So progression. So
Oh. Thanks.
If you have a message, literally let me know.
So the aim throughout the year is to get everyone furthering their qualification and just progressing pretty much as a game leader and then maybe into being a referee. So you've got the 4 levels of game leaders. The next step to then take is the junior match official course. So in the past, that has always been called a level 4 course. The naming has just changed slightly. But if you're starting as a 4v4 game leader and it's your first year, throughout the year, we'd love to upgrade you. So we'd like to see you doing a 7v7, a 9v9, game leader in transition, just progressing as the year goes. But there's also no rush. If you're brand new to game leading, it's about getting involved, understanding what's going on, what you like, what you can improve on. But we want to keep you progressing so you don't get bored. And 4v4 is a great place to start, but I imagine it could get a little bit boring if you do it too often. So that's why we want to keep progressing you. At the end of the season, everyone who's above 13 years old, we would like to see complete the junior match official course, which means you will be qualified to referee full field football. You don't have to, so you don't need to go referee full field football. It's encouraged, but you don't have to. The reason behind doing the junior match official course is just to give you a deeper understanding of refereeing, what it's all about, the pathways you can go down, just more knowledge. And as I touched on, the aim's to progress year on year. So if you're a 4v4 last year, definitely trying to get to be a 7v7 sooner rather than later is a great step. To progress, you need to do the online learning, so the theory part. You then also need to attend a practical course. You can do the theory anytime throughout the year. So if you registered as a new game leader this year, you would have got a code that you can use to do all of the courses. If you registered as a returning game leader, but you'd like to upgrade your qualification, please send me an email asking, and I'll provide you with a code that you'll be able to use to do these other courses. Also, throughout the year, we will be running practical sessions. They won't be as often, the upgrading courses, but they will continue. I'm going to skim through this and I'm going to get Darren then to just add a comment or two, but training is not compulsory, but we do encourage you to come to training. The aim of training is to help build your confidence, build the information you know, get some more knowledge, and then just learn general things and feel part of the game leading group. Again, you don't need to attend, but it's really, really helpful to attend. And we've been getting positive reviews from the training sessions so far. The aim is to start scheduling training at different grounds each week. So you would see in the first batch of trainings that came out, there was the region. So it was like north, southeast, southwest, and then all, something like that. The aim as the season goes on is to schedule trainings at those regions. So there might be 1 week where it's at Prospect, 1 week at Kings Langley, 1 week at Blacktown, whatever. But for now, training is at Blacktown Football Park, but we should start moving them around. Not next month, so not May, but the month after. Shortly, you'll also be invited to BDSFA referee theory and practical training sessions. It's the same as normal training. It's not compulsory to attend, but it can help you gain more knowledge. It can help you build on your fitness, build on your skills, and that is all transferable to playing as well as game leading. So as a player, it's good to be fit. At referee training, we train fitness. At theory sessions, we talk about specific topics. Our last theory session was on handball. So it's good to come along and learn. Don't have to. It's really good. Builds your confidence, and it gains you a bit more of a refereeing family. Training for next month isn't on Spons just yet, but it will be added shortly. It'll just continue with the days changing pretty much each week, so that there is an option that if you have to miss 1 week because you train on a Tuesday, at least next week training's on a Wednesday, so you're able to attend. The more people that come to these sessions, the more enjoyable it is for everyone, I would suggest. If there's only 3 or 4 people rocking up, it's pretty a bit more boring and you can't do as much and learn as much. So the more people, the better it is. And finally, at the end of the season, all game leaders will receive a certificate just to acknowledge their season and what level of qualification they're up to. Darren, do you want to just add anything on what training's like?
Well, training for game leaders is basically just a place where they have a community and they can have some fun. The start of the session will always be a bit of fitness, and all the other activities will be using skills that game leaders should be using, so like agility, fitness, and some sort of knowledge, but it'll be presented in like a fun way. So for example, last week we did agility training through Bull Rush, or we've done other drills where, you're thinking quick and you're answering questions, just like how referees would be reacting in a game scenario. So it's just a bit of theory and content covered in a fun way.
Exactly. And so as the year goes on as well, and the weather turns a bit more sour, you could say, we also have the ability to go indoors and do practical sessions. So enjoyable things like Kahoots, engaging, so you're not just sitting there like you're in a classroom, but engaging content to try and build that knowledge. But at the moment, it's all outside, which is great. Yeah, there's been some very positive reviews so far. The uniform. So all new game leaders should receive a uniform at their practical course. It's an orange shirt. It's got the BDSFA or BCSIB logo on the front of it. A lot of them also have L Trent on the back. Not all of them do. At the moment, we only have sizes up to medium. If you need a bigger size, let me know. The sizes are quite large. So for instance, I'd normally be a large and I can fit into a medium. But obviously if it doesn't fit you, it doesn't fit you. And we will order more big sizes in. At that training, you'll also receive a whistle that you use. Those whistles are called a Fox 40. They just make a slightly different sound to what other whistles sound like, but it's more of a soccer sound. And then when you're doing games, you should just wear black shorts and socks, not black shorts and socks, just black shorts and socks, just to look the part. And they should be neutral. So if you play for Pons, it's not a great idea to wear pond shorts. If you've got no other black shorts, okay, but just try and wear some black shorts and socks. Being an assistant referee on full field games. So it's not confirmed, but I've got a meeting to try and get it confirmed tomorrow afternoon. So if that gets pushed ahead, you will be able to be an assistant referee on games. That will mean you get paid for those games. You get to work with experienced referees in those games, and you get more challenges. You get to do more enjoyable games, I'd say. If you want to do assistant referees, which you absolutely don't have to, you'll be appointed at games close to your home venue. We'll also appoint you based around when you play yourself, when you're doing your own game leading, and you don't have to be available. It's pretty simple. It's up to you. If you're available, you're available. If not, all good. Before you do get appointed to a game as well, you will need to attend a training session. So it will just be a normal 1 hour training session just to ensure you have knowledge of what's going on. We don't want to send you out there and just go, oh, like, just go have fun, just work it out. We don't want to do that. We want to provide you with training, with knowledge to make the experience enjoyable and worthwhile. And now finally, I'll just show one more thing. So Spond, which it seems like if you're on this call, you should understand what's going on. Just let it alone. So the option is to either view it online or on your phone. I personally always do it online, it's just easier. You'll be able to see posts that come in. So for instance, after tomorrow's session, if you are allowed to be an assistant referee, I'll send a post and it'll just provide information. Darren's provided a really, really good cheat sheet here, which I'd strongly recommend printing out and just having with you at all times. It's super good to just, I'm not going to go through it all because you should have learned it all at training, but it's really good to have just in case if you ever have questions and you want to just talk about it. Then there's just some other updates. So the events will all be posted tomorrow for next month. And that's about all for game leading on here. If we go ahead with being an assistant referee, there'll be a new subgroup added that you'll be added to if you're interested, and so-called AR on Field Games. And if you're interested in that, you'll get added, and I'll just provide further information through that instead of just clogging up everyone's feeds with that information. That's all from me because I think that's a general summary. Actually, I've got one more document that I'll go through. Wait, the one. No, this isn't the one. So this information was what was sent to clubs at the start of the year, and it looks like some clubs passed it on, some clubs didn't. So it's just about the levels, which we've talked about already, about the more specifics about what you need to do to progress. Registration through Play Football, which you've all done. The regions. So as I talked about in coming months, if training was in the north, we might do it at Quakers Hill Park. The next week, we might do it at Rudy Hill, so I might go to Moray. The week after, could go to Kings Langley, so we'll go to Linwood Park. Then the third week would be all together at Blacktown. So that's the areas. We've got a progression plan in place so that the BDSFA starts helping clubs out by taking more control of game leaders. So next season, our aim is to have 16 of the clubs continue to appoint their own referees to games, so just how it's going now. But then the other 8, BDSFA will sort of take over just to take a burden off the clubs and make it easier for them. And then the next year, we want to progress to have all control, just to take that away from the clubs because it's just sort of an additional thing that's adding more pressure to them. All the training dates are there, which I'll send out. Clubs were asked to provide information. Some did, some didn't. And then the recognition of prior learning is just saying that if you did game leading last year, you continue with your qualification this year. That's all from me. Darren, do you have anything to add on top of that?
Not really. I just had a couple of parents confused about registration, which you've basically just gone through, but
I'll just clarify that. So everyone on this group should have probably done this, but through Play Football is how Reg is done. So a couple of you did it through Dribble as well. That's okay. I would have just sent you an email saying, jump on Play Football. But if you just go to referees, just go through this tab here, start your 2024 registration, and you search up Blacktown City Soccer Referees Branch. Click through there. I want to say the next, I'll have to log in to get there, to have my login details, potentially. Registering myself. And then you would have chosen either Game Leader New or game leader returning. So returning just means you did it last year. New means that you wanted it this year and you got all access to the teachable courses. All good. If anyone has questions, you can either talk or you can type it in the chat. So that's all from me. If there's no questions, that's good. It means I've clarified it all, hopefully. From here, I'm going to, or
Yeah, just one question. Can you clarify again the progression from 9v9 to a junior official?
yeah, okay. So pretty much the way that so there's 3 levels, so the 9v9. The level 4, we're still trying to work out exactly what we want from this, but it's called the game leader in transition. So
Okay.
that's the way we envisage that is that they'll continue doing 9v9 games, but they'll also get experiences on maybe an under 12 Div 5 or something of that equivalent where there's a coach there just providing them with more help. Another avenue is going down and doing SAP games, so like Blacktown Spartans under 8s, let's say, and then just trying to build on the skills you've learned in a 9v9 club setting. And then the next step from there is doing the junior football match official course. So that's all online now. And if any kids are interested in that, just send me an email. I can provide all step-by-step info on how to do that online junior match official course.
Cool. And another question is, how do we register for assistant referee?
So I've got a meeting tomorrow just to see if I can get it approved. If it does get approved, which I'm pretty confident it will, I'll just put a post in Spawn saying who's interested, just comment below, and I'll just run through the step by step with those people. It'll be pretty much just turning up to a 1-hour training session, and then you'll get put on games with referees.
Cool, thanks.
Neil, what day will most trainings be on? So that's a good question. It does vary a little bit. Let's go here. So we just went through May then. So in April, sorry, we just went through April. So in May, there's a training on a Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. The point of the days of the sessions, I'm trying to align them with the full field referee training sessions as well. So the idea is that, so for instance, this Wednesday the 15th, we've got a fitness session at Blacktown Football Park, 7:30 till 9. So the point is I'm trying to align it with 6:30 till 7:30 is game leading. So it's easier for Darren and Kiana. But then it's also easier for game leaders who might want to stay back for a bit, who will then do like 7:30 till 9 or shorter than that. It's a long time, but that's the idea of it. Anything else? Awesome. So from here, I will post the video, ends that PowerPoint into the Spond group, so you can go through it again if you need it, and that should clarify info that's asked. So the location of training. So this coming month, so in May, all trainings will be at Blacktown Football Park. After that, hopefully I'll have the rest of the calendar planned out. The AR meeting, with our meeting on a post tomorrow. So if it is approved that you're allowed to be an AR, there will be a post on Spawn tomorrow just saying it's been approved. If you're interested, say yes. And then from there, you'll be provided information. But we'll want to get you on games pretty much straight away. So there'll probably be a training session next week just to get you ready for it. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for logging on your public holiday. I hope you have a good weekend, and that's all. See you later.